Jaron Ennis in the mix to face Stanionis or Vergil Ortiz next, plus IBF #1 for Errol Spence Jr. Alright, y'all, so there was some news that came out this morning regarding Jaron Boots Ennis and his next fight. Well, his fight after his next fight. I believe his next fight has already been announced, and it's going to take place on the undercard of Gervonta Davis's next fight. But in the meantime, there's a situation that's going on regarding the WBA regular title. Vergil Ortiz, Stanionis, Errol the Truth Spence Jr., and Jaron Boots Ennis. All these names are in the mix when it comes to that WBA situation, and it's kind of a mess. At the same time, it's good for boxing because it's going to give these younger fighters an opportunity. Now, what's going on? Well, the situation between Stanionis and Vergil Ortiz, I thought was an automatic go, but apparently there's something within the wording of the contract that the WBA is putting out there involving a purse bid. There is a 75-25 split involved within that purse bid. Now, it's up to Vergil Ortiz, according to an article I just read, to okay the purse bid split or deny the purse bid split, which would affect the Errol Spence situation. So I'm assuming this is why Errol Spence hasn't come out and said anything about the Keith Thurman fight just yet, because he can't really accept the Thurman fight if Stanionis doesn't take the Vergil Ortiz fight, to my knowledge. I believe that Vergil Ortiz fight is something that is keeping Errol Spence Jr. from accepting the Keith Thurman fight and announcing it just yet. I think they have to work out whatever they need to work out first. Plus, according to this article, Jaron Boots Ennis, if Vergil Ortiz and Stanionis don't get it on, it's supposed to be in the mix for Stanionis' WBA regular title, which I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you, at the moment with the WBA, because it's kind of like, once again, just a big mess, because Stanionis had a contract and step-aside money because Errol Spence Jr. fought Ordanius Ugas. So I was thinking that that situation was cleared up with the Vergil Ortiz situation. Okay, I fight Vergil Ortiz. If I beat Vergil Ortiz according to the WBA, then there will be an automatic fight made between the winner of Errol Spence and Stanionis or Vergil Ortiz. But if Vergil Ortiz decides not to take the Stanionis fight and isn't worried about the WBA regular title, because Terrence Crawford is sitting out there and is the WBO champion, and Vergil Ortiz is #1 in the WBO. If he takes that WBA shot, then I think he will miss out on that WBO shot. So perhaps Vergil Ortiz is trying to see the bigger picture. I would rather go after Terrence Crawford than to go after Stanionis for a regular title. You know, I would rather get a bigger shot because the regular title really doesn't mean much. Plus, I think they're about to do away with it anyway. So Vergil Ortiz could possibly get a shot at Terrence Crawford, which would be a much bigger fight than Stanionis. Or he could go after Stanionis, get a regular title. It's not a real good payday involved in that fight, but he could get a title and a potential shot at Errol Spence Jr. Now, once again, all this is based off of whether those two guys get it on, because it does throw another monkey wrench in there, because according to this article, Stanionis was supposed to be fighting Jaron Boots Ennis next as a guarantee as well, which I don't understand what's going on in boxing. How could Stanionis have a contract stating that he gets an automatic shot at Errol Spence because there was step-aside money involved, but at the same time, Jaron Boots Ennis is mandatory for the WBA regular title. He's a mandatory challenger for that title. So there's just a whole mess involving the WBA. I'm really not sure how that situation is going to play itself out. It's Vergil Ortiz and Stanionis are definitely going to have to make some decisions quickly, because it's holding up Boots and Errol Spence Jr. from making a decision. Now, Errol Spence Jr., I think his decision might be a little more set in stone. He's like, because of the Terrence Crawford situation, he might be like, well, I can't wait around anymore. I need to take a fight. I got to stay active. You know, I want to make some more money. I only had one fight in 2022. So I would think that it's a go-ahead for the Keith Thurman fight, whether Stanionis and Vergil Ortiz are going to get it on or not. But at the same time, there's a possibility that Errol Spence could still fight Stanionis and not Keith Thurman. And if he doesn't fight Keith Thurman, I think Keith Thurman has to give the nod and allow for Errol Spence not to fight him. And I don't know if that would involve step-aside money. Like, once again, is there a step-aside money situation going on? You know, Al Heyman might pay Keith Thurman some extra money to allow Errol Spence Jr. not to fight him, because there was some rumblings around the Errol Spence Jr. Keith Thurman fight that might not happen, that it's just not a go just yet, based off of what's going on with the WBA, Vergil Ortiz and Emino Santanios. Now, what does that mean for Jaron Boots Ennis and the next year of his boxing career? Once again, his next fight is already set, but this is for how the rest of his 2023 will play out. Now, these are big-time moves that could seriously shake up the landscape of boxing and could really either end up in some good fights or some bad situations for guys, putting them in the ring with fighters perhaps they shouldn't be in the ring with just yet. Now, with the Vergil Ortiz Stanionis situation, I'm hoping those two guys work it out soon enough, because I think once that's announced, then the Keith Thurman fight will be announced, and then you will get a decision by the IBF regarding Boots Ennis and his petition to fight Errol Spence Jr. next, because he spoke about that recently in a Fight Hype interview, and he said, when asked, you have to ask my father about the IBF situation, because I don't know what's going on with it. They haven't gotten back with us. I think those were his exact words. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely get a response on the tube. So holler at me over there. And we are Manny.
That's why they hating on me. He's low. That's why they hating on me. He's low. That's why they hating on me. He's low. Feel niggas hate local music, but yet and still I promote the music. A hard-headed nigga couldn't coach me through shit. I thought they wouldn't hate, my approach is too sick. Motion music, promote the movement. They play it in the crowd and they both is moving. The chicks and G's bumping their head instantly. It never made no sense to me how a nigga gotta leave the Ville just to receive a deal. I need the bills, so if I gotta leave I will. But I'd rather stay, let them see the skills. Shoot a video, let them see the bill. Do a couple scenes on 18th and Hill. Open up wide, let them see your grill. That boy Keith is for real. But he's low.